Well, welcome to the newsletter again this week. Today is the week of May 8th. So last week we talked about royalty and production tax, corporate income tax, all those other elements that come to state government, revenues that come to state government through our oil resources. So today, this is sort of royalty income part 2. So we have the royalties, remember, and that's the share of the value that goes to the resource owner. And so when people say it's our oil, they're absolutely right. 12.5% to 16.6% of every barrel is our royalty oil. That's the part that's our oil. So I wanted to let you know how much money that's bringing in. What I'm going to give you now is the numbers, the number of dollars that came to the state in March of 2017. This year, March. In March of 2017, royalty in total was $89.6 million. So in 1 month, that's what royalty oil has brought in. For the year to date, so far since July 1 of 2016, that's the beginning of fiscal year 17, and it goes till the end of June in 2017, $690 million have come in just from royalty oil. Of that money that came in as royalty money, education so far this year has gotten $470,000. That was only in the month of March, $470,000. For the year total, so far, $3.7 million of royalty oil value has gone into education. The permanent fund, in the month of March, $24.1 million went into the permanent fund from royalty. At the end of the, the year so far is $213 million. The general fund has gotten $69 million so far, $510 million so far this year. So royalty oil, the It's Our Oil part, brings in a huge amount of revenue. Now, what about those other revenue streams we talked about? So property taxes are projected this year to bring in $116 million. So compare $116 million to the $89.6 million in 1 month of royalty. You can see $690 million so far this year. Huge difference. Property taxes bring in money, but nothing compared to the royalty. Production taxes are projected this year to bring in $189 million compared to the royalty of $690 million. What about corporate income tax? That's another tax that oil-producing companies pay, or oil taxpayers pay. Corporate income tax, $123 million. Compare that to the royalty oil just so far this year. Just so far this year. So that's a total projected for the year of property taxes, production, and corporate income tax of $428 million. But this $690 just so far this year in royalty oil. So the point I want to make is, for every barrel that we produce on the North Slope, we get royalty oil, and it is exceeding all the other taxes that are paid by taxpayers producing on our North Slope. So don't discount this. More production means more royalty oil and more tax income, these other taxes. So other issues that we're looking at in terms of our economy right now is employment. And I wanted to let you know, we get a report monthly. This is written by Scott Goldsmith. He was part of the Institute of Social and Economic Research. He's retired now, but he continues to put out this report. Employment continues to decline at an annual rate of 2%. The industries that are seeing that reduction are oil, construction, state government, and professional and business services. The only ones that are growing are healthcare and local governments. Those are the only industries, if you want to call it that, that are experiencing growth. Only Wyoming is performing worse than Alaska in terms of employment. Oil production, here's a positive. Oil production is 3% higher than last year and 6% higher than 2 years ago. Remember what I said about production? More production equals more royalty and more taxes, the 3 other taxes paid. So when you hear the Senate and myself talk about more production is our target, more production is the goal, that's what we're talking about. We've seen an increase in production for the last 2 years, something that hadn't been seen since 2002. We want to keep a fiscal climate here in the state that continues to encourage more production, more royalty oil. So thanks very much for watching. We're continuing to work here in the Senate, in Juneau, working with the House to reach positive solutions for Alaska's economy. We'll talk to you next week.